How's it going, everyone? Today I'm here to talk about the NASCAR Cup Series playoff bubble battle situation. We're going into the last 11 races of the regular season, and I want to really look at who our contenders at the bubble are, how the upcoming races may affect that bubble battle, and who we may end up seeing making the playoffs after Daytona has completed here at the end of the summer. So today I want to put a focus on road courses and how our bubble battle drivers have competed at these tracks in the past. We're looking at the next gen era in particular because I believe that's the most relevant time period we need to look at for now. So I think we have some interesting potential winners in the field here, and I think it has a lot of potential to see these road courses shake up this bubble battle quite significantly. So the first car I want to really talk about here is the 17 of Chris Buescher. The 17 at the moment is 20 points to the good at the cut line. However, I don't expect that will remain a safe position on points. I believe we're going to see at least three winners from 14th on back in the points um, over the next 11 races. That's going to really push that cut line up, particularly up to where Chris Briscoe is, and that is a 21 point gap between Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe. It's not an insignificant gap to get around. However, the 17 has been fast, and part of their current situation is due to that penalty that they had incurred. So, take away that penalty, and Chris Buescher is probably sitting in a better position, but, that's not the reality we exist in. Chris Buescher, I think, has a lot of potential to make the playoffs. I do expect him to make the playoffs this year, but we do need to see some performance over the next 11 weeks for that to happen. Now, I expect him to be good on these road courses. Chris Buescher has been a solid road course racer in the next gen era. We see he has an average finish of 8.7, and he does have that win at last year's Watkins Glen race. Uh, so I have high expectations of this 17 team. I fully expect them to make the playoffs. I believe they're going to perform well enough to do that, and I do believe there's the potential to see that win. We saw them win Watkins Glen, as I mentioned. He could absolutely pull off another win there. He managed to beat the favorite straight up, SVG, at the end of that race. So I have high expectations of Chris Buescher and his playoff aspirations here. The next car I want to look at would be the losing end of that Watkins Glen race last year, the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, Shane Van Gisbergen does have a smaller pool of races to look at in the Cup Series, having only joined this year and running a limited schedule of them last year. So we see in the 7 races he has run, he has an average finish of 12.3. Solid average finish. Definitely would look better if not for that DNF at the Chicago Street Course last year, and that wasn't his fault. He was the favorite to win that race, having won it in 2023, but unfortunately he got taken out through no fault of his own. But we did, of course, see him win that 2023 race. So he is a winner at these kind of tracks in the Cup Series in the past. And he does have that extensive supercar experience to lean on, looking into these right-handers. So I fully expect SVG to perform well, but it's not enough for this 88 team to just perform well. They are in a position where they need a win. Which I do expect the 88 team to pick up one of these 4 wins this season. I don't expect him to sweep these tracks by any means, but I do believe it is possible to win at least one, possibly even 2 of these races as we go into the playoffs, to give himself some playoff points as well. And I do believe that is the expectation from Trackhouse for this 88 team. SVG was brought over to win on these road courses. If he's not winning on these road courses, it really defeats the purpose of him being on this team. I believe that even if he doesn't get a win on a road course this year, he does need to stay in that 88 car at least till next year. But if we don't see performance out of this 88 over the rest of the season and through next season, I believe we need to look at his position within Trackhouse and potentially look at Connor Zilic as the future of that car. The next car I want to look at is the 77 Carson Hocevar. So Carson Hocevar has a average finish on these type of tracks of 15.2. If you take out that 24th place finish at Chicago Street Course last year, which is his only start at Chicago, he does have an average finish of 13.4 in his 5 other road course races. Not a terrible stat. On top of that, we have seen a lot of speed out of the 77 team in the last few weeks. And I really think Carson Hocevar is getting into that zone, that comfort zone within the Cup Series. I fully expect him to be a multi-time winner as we go into the next few seasons, and I do have very high expectations of the 77 team. I believe Carson Hocevar could get a win over the next 11 weeks. I don't necessarily believe that's going to happen at a road course, but I think we may continue to see solid performances out of the 77 team. Then moving on, we're going to take a look at his teammate, the 71 of Michael McDowell. So Michael McDowell has an average finish on these types of tracks of 13.2. He also has that win at the Indy Road Course a couple of years back. Now, of course, we don't race at the Indy Road Course anymore. It has been replaced by the Indy Oval. So he has lost that track, but I do expect McDowell to show up at these road courses. However, the X factor here is whether or not he gets the similar performances in the Spire 71 as he used to get in the FRM 34. It does seem like that FRM team was quite strong on the road courses and super speedways in particular. So we'll see if the 71 team can put together performances as consistently on the road courses that we saw out of the 34 team. The next team to look at would be the 48 of Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman has definitely had some struggles in the last few weeks. We have seen him drop from what was it, like as high as third in the point standings, somewhere between third and fifth, I don't quite remember, but he has plummeted to 15th in the point standings, only plus 13 to the cut line. So the 48 team, they are solid road course racers. He has an average finish on these tracks of 14.9, and he does have that win at the Chicago Street Course last year. That was won, I think, primarily on rain strategy. He opted for those rain tires and it was just enough to hold that lead when you combined with some driver error on the part of Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell going into the final laps of that race. So I think the main thing for the 48 team is they need to get some good finishes. They need to stem the bleeding that they've been experiencing over the last few weeks and really stabilize, get that confidence up, and make a run for this last stretch of the regular season. If the 48 team wants to make the playoffs, they need to start performing like a Hendrick car should be performing. This DNF string is not acceptable for a car of this caliber. So I do expect Alex Bowman and the 48 team to turn it around. I believe there is a lot of talent on that team. I'm by no means an Alex Bowman hater or believe he needs to be taken out of that car, but we do need to see some better performance out of that team. The next team I want to look at is the 8, Kyle Busch. Now, we haven't seen Kyle Busch win on one of these road courses in the Next Gen period, but we have seen the 8 team put together wins in the Next Gen era. That speaking, of course, to when Tyler Reddick was running the 8 car. Now, Kyle Busch, he does have an average finish on these tracks of 15.2. Not bad. He was particularly good at COTA this year, so let's see if he can carry over that COTA experience into one of these 4 other races and potentially get a win or even just make some gains on the cut line. If I think Kyle Busch is a talented driver, I don't think he's washed at this time. If he can put together some solid road course races, maybe a few solid on the mile intermediates that are coming up, we could see Kyle Busch make a run into the playoffs, maybe even potentially get that win. The last car I want to look at, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. He's well known as a road course ringer in the NASCAR Cup Series. He has an average finish on these tracks of 15.8. Primarily, it's the Chicago street course that has been unfavorable to him, where he is average of 27.5 at that track, 14.3 everywhere else. Now he does have that win at the Roval a couple of years back, but of course that is a playoff race and not going to get him into the playoffs with a win in this case. So that's my look at the road courses coming up over the next 11 weeks. The next time I'm going to talk about the short intermediates and how those are going to look. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching.